Hello, greetings, my friends. This is Gilles. I thought I'd come and wish you a good day to go back into those discussions about transcendental psychology. And I wasn't sure where to start, so I thought I'd start with the top of my notes. So basically, it's like we are the boots on the ground, what they call. We are the infantry. We really are the light workers, the warriors of light. And there was this book I read when I was a teenager. I wasn't in spirituality then, but I thought it was still a good book. I kind of forgot it by now. But it was called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Carlos Castaneda. I've read a few of his books. And it's really to be the sort, to be a peaceful warrior, to bring the light, to come to that victory without having to move into brutality and violence. For some time there is a need for force to be applied in order to stop aggression or whatever. It's like in past history we've seen that. But to be the light work, to be soldiers of light, to be to be instrument of the divinity, to work for to be the infantry for understanding. The cavalry is the galactic, the forces of light on the higher planes are the cavalry. The cavalry will come to at the end to anchor the victory, but the infantry is here. We are the ground troops, and so this is the victory. We are the one who's like fighting for the light. We're bringing the light into the darkness, and we're all very important. And eventually, we have to move from soldier to officer or higher officer. That doesn't mean in order to take executive decisions, to have wisdom and confidence, so we can take executive decisions in the name of the light. And for that, it doesn't mean to control other light workers. It means to control angelic armies. There is all kinds of invisible forces that are really willing, able to assist, and so the higher we rise, the more authority we'll gain in this process. And so just continue to cultivate your wisdom and self-confidence. For the love and light of the angels and archangels are making themselves felt more and more, and we're going to feel it as you call on them. They are more able to send it down, to feel it, eventually to see and hear them as well. But there's much more authorization that they're coming closer to the galactic, even to the galactic and to the physical realm. So they have the power of transmutation, just as the ascended masters are also this power of transmutation. But no, you're never alone. When you can call on them, and even they are never alone. So when an angel, an archangel is doing whatever it's doing, they're always connected with an host of spirit beings that are complementary in their missions. That they are not like, except solitary messengers that works solitary. They're called solitary messengers. They're the only being in creation. They're the highest order from the family of the infinite spirits. They are extremely high beings, but they're only beings that they are forbidden to be more than three working together. They have to stay away from each other, because otherwise they short circuit themselves. But they're essential also. They have solitary messengers that operate within this earth plane as well, and they're quite useful as well. But you eventually will learn to utilize all kind of spiritual resources. I recommend a book called the Urantia book. The first two parts of that book reveal a little bit of the spiritual hierarchies and how the universe works. For it's like the Archangel Raphael was recommending a technique. Is like when you listen to love music that talks about love and good music, and you feel good, you're in total state of relaxation. Call on the angels and archangel at that time. It will be to increase your love, to bring you extra love, extra protection, extra healing, extra success, extra happiness, extra health. For it's or the Creator. Because if we wait till we're in a really difficult situation and feel we're really in pain to call on God or the angels and archangels, our receptive level is not on the optimal. We are not optimally open to receive the love and bliss. But when we already in this state, it is the time. It's like prayer shouldn't be the final solutions, but the first thing we should do, in essence, and to call on them when you relax. I don't know, I had strange things that happened in my video. I'm not really sure what happened, but so call on the angels and archangels in those moments of relaxation, when you feel good, when you have nothing to ask them for. They will just bring you extra love, extra protection, extra success, extra inspiration, extra health. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Angel Tarot. So the past is courage. We've been very courageous to face. We had to feel the pain and suffering. We came down here from the light, and so. But we needed to know what humans have been going through for millennium. We wanted to feel deeply what this human experience was about. So we chose to partake in that. But it is now we have to make the past easy and to let go of that. Right now we are overcoming doubts. We have to let go of that, and as we become clairvoyants, the doubts disappear, and the solution will show up in the future. There's so many revelations that are about to come up. What we're working on now is balance. Balance is the triumph of the light. It is we focus on truth. As Archangel Michael was just reminding us of. It's like we focus on truth. We get hip the trajectory of truth, and then that leads to triumph and freedom and this balance that is achieved. And the outcome will be the choice. We're going to be facing the precipice, and we're going to have to make quantum leaps. We're going to have to make certain choices. They're very personal choices. Always choose the highest choice. The most important choice is to choose to believe in eternal life, and for non-initiated. For that changes everything from a spiritual point of view. It means the soul has reached the point of recognition of its own eternal nature. For understanding who we are as humans, our life missions, our role, our position, our experience as human, but also not to forget we are eternal beings of Source, and we're connected to all that is. We're an extension of Source. We're part of all that is. We're made of all states within the universe. We just want to free ourselves from the lower states. In order, doesn't mean that if we are all that is, the lower states will always be part of us that is evolving on the lower plane. But the light will be dominant within ourselves. This eternal frequency of consciousness will live our life from that position, from the crown center. And so I also wanted to talk about karma. What is karma? It is a cause and effect. When a soul is doing something that is hurtful to another soul, for instance, or to millions or hundreds or whatever, if there was no judgment and punishment for those actions, there would be no evolution. Souls would still linger in the darkness forever. So when God exercises for this, each soul is usually capable of handling his own ministry. But sometimes there are councils of karmic boards or God himself that choose to say, well, this soul needs to evolve, bang, bang, bang. When it's the time, but that is by compassion, because if the universe of universes, those cosmic planes were created for evolution, and if the souls that inhabit it, that are integral part of it, were not able to change, evolve, and grow back towards the light, then it would fail its purpose, and the universe would disappear, it would vanish. So God wants to exist eternally and continue to grow and evolve eternally. Therefore, he will eternally work through the law to reflect the imperfection and the hurtful natures of things. It is a bit like on the earth plane, the idea of justice. If a criminal is not caught and punished, then he is encouraged to continue to hurt other people, and we have to learn respect and love. And so, but karma has been transcended by unconditional love. When whatever we did that was wrong, if we can forgive ourselves and love ourselves, we've learned our lesson and we are automatically forgiven. For a lot of the darkness is going to be exposed. So much darkness is going to be exposed. Did I pull some card with this deck? I'm not sure. I'll do it again. I'm not sure if I did it. But so much darkness is going to be exposed, and then waves of loves are going to come to heal it. But for now, it's just I had these dreams. It's like this dream. It wasn't very clear exactly, but what I was shown in this dream last night is that there was a lie presented, and then I came in and say, well, no, this is the truth. And then they came in from another angle, with another lie. And then the truth, it was like, no matter which angle the lie they're trying to lie, it's like the light was everywhere. There was no place for them to run. All the sophistry and the lies were actually exposed. Just it reminded me a bit of this experience of during the time of the Lucifer rebellion on Jerusalem, when the Gabriel of Salvington came down from Salvington, the bright and morning star, the chief of all angelic armies, to denounce all the sophistry of the rebels, and they were like all those lies and manipulations. So there were forces of light that came down to just expose it, to say, well, no, we are faithful to God. We're not going to go into this madness. and on none of the ascend, some of the lower life, celestial life, fall into the rebellion, but none of the all of them, none to a single one of the ascending communities fall into prey of that rebellion. For it is, the story is told in the Urantia book, once again, the story of the Lucifer rebellion and the outcome of the consequences, all those things. Quite interesting. There's a couple of chapters about that. And so, but what I'm saying is that there's going to be, the truth is going to be, the light is going to be everywhere, and no lies will be able to, at some point. Doesn't mean that the whole truth it's going to be step by step, of course. But the lies is not going to, all this light that is the manipulation of the media is not going to last very long. It's all gonna, we're very close to that. Also wanted to talk about advanced extraterrestrials. There are trillions of extraterrestrial life. We're not, but there are hundreds of them, there are thousands of them, and hundreds of them that will come into our consciousness, that will manifest to assist. And some of them were very advanced, like the Egyptian god, and they were huge beings with very scary forms. But why do they keep those scary forms? Is to keep the dark, the Luciferians and the Orions and the Anunnakis and the reptilians and all kinds of them, to keep them so they don't to make them afraid of them. So it's like, so sometimes the form doesn't reflect the inner light, and they keep a scary form just to keep the darkness away. And when you see Anubis, is maybe a bit scary, but he's a kind being, intelligent being, or any other beings from that civilizations, just as the Greek gods were sometimes. Well, they were very advanced extraterrestrials. They're still around, and they will come back to assist at some point. Can already communicate to them through the channel. For the solstice will be very a time to relax and slow down and to balance the energy. It's going to be and then to prepare for the Galactic New Year on July 26th and the Lion's Gate portal on 8/8. What we want to do to stabilize our matrix, we have those chakras that are aligned on the vertical axis, is an energetic body inside of our body, is to ask that each of your chakra is connected to the Christ matrix. That will really increase the determination and focus process. It will really, this is really to always think to return to this Christ frequency, and the Christ is beyond the individual that is called Jesus. It is the unconditional love. Of course, this master coordinates the pulse, but it's a universal force. The highest wisdom is the thinker. Continue to elevate your thought. What we need to understand is, may the truth be. The truth is going to come out. All truths, all kinds of truths are going to come out. Your own truth needs to come out, this divinity from within, but on the outside matrix as well. What we need to do is to be flexible, to stay flexible, to not be stuck in any way, to just keep an open heart and open mind. And the outcome is the never-ending story. It's like we're going to come to realize that many dramas will be presented, but we're not going to give it power. We're not going to give power to the negative thoughts that can still show up through the ego. And so we're not going to allow ourselves to be manipulated by those dark forces. So it's about breathing, going within, and connecting to source. For the old controlling energy, in a sense, have been turned off. It's like they're still controlling the medias and some powers on the physical planes, but they've been turned off. The higher forces that were dominating this world, they're no longer connected. That's why it's an amateur show. They're like completely desperate, or they're doing things that are completely absurd in the way they run the show, but a lot of people are still maintaining this way of submission to those dark forces. They're still following whatever the media says it's the truth, and so that is why it's continuing to be there. So it's about just maintain your own frequency and choose to receive the light and love through your heart, and keep your heart open, and see what keeps you from experiencing that, what fear, doubts prevents you from fully experiencing the love and light of source, of God, of the universe, of the what are the beliefs that are preventing you. Beliefs are habitual thoughts. Once you become aware of a negative belief, you can change it once you're aware of it. And so understanding there was times of we went through these very dark programs, but there were times where they were cracked in the matrix. The light came in, like when Moses received the Ten Commandments. Those were guides guiding, giving hope to man. Not to forget, there is a creator, there is eternal life, there is love, there is like the Quran, or when the Christ came in, or the Buddha came in, they gave a lot of hope to people. That's why they were so important in history. But now there's this awakening through the heart. Some of these old revelations were given in very specific time and space, and there were a lot of it was according to the human nature and the cultural habits of the people. So we have to always continue to evolve our relationship to source, to God, whichever way we choose to connect to that. Do not stay open for there's only one God, but there are many aspects and spiritual ways, and so there is even a coordination on the infinity planes. And before this planet is actually bringing that together, because some of those divine beings that we call God, which is Allah or Yahweh or Krishna, or there's countless beings that are the fathers that have designed human path for humanity. They were so infinite. They didn't need to communicate among each other. Now they are one, just as Allah says, come to see us, because like we gave the book to Moses, we sent the Christ. It's one, but it's plural. It's like one infinity, but there's many consciousness. But this will become more obvious. Just connect through your heart to them, in whichever way it feels right to you. For those who are just guides, and the Ten Commandments is to help humans to not behave like animals, to bring hope to humanity and direction. For the frequency of light and love is more powerful than any other frequency. It comes as wave, and then it retires, and then it comes and it retires. So it's like sometimes we up, sometimes we just got to learn to navigate those flows. And when we send light and love into the hologram, in our physical body, the physical hologram, or the physical hologram of the earth, we just make it beautiful, we make it bright. This physical matrix wasn't created to be dark. It could be very bright and beautiful and full of pleasure and joy and sharing. So it's about to move into this timeline where we can the darkness can no longer penetrate our own submatrix, so to speak. And for there's like 8 billion truths on the planet. There's 8 billion human beings and 8 billion universe, 8 billion truths and timelines, and so. But eventually we want to create enough light so that people will choose the light, and they see that they have these options. For sometimes they've forgotten that they have. Some of them have forgotten that the light even exists. And joy and happiness, for it is. Let us try to make our path very easy and pleasant and flowing. Well, thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I thank you for your donations. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. I'm going to sing a song. I wasn't sure what to sing. I saw yesterday this old movie called An Officer and a Gentleman. I hadn't seen that in decades. And there was this song. This is a song of the movie, sung by Joe Cooker and Jennifer Warnes. It's called Up Where We Belong. It's a very spiritual song. It goes like this. Who knows what tomorrow brings? In a world few hearts survive. All I know is the way I feel. When it's real, I keep it alive. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world below, up where the clear winds blow. Some hang on to used to be, live their lives looking behind. All we have is here and now. All our lives are there to find. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lift us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Time goes by, no time to cry. Life's you and I alive. Today, love lift us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lift us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Love lift us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lift us up where we belong. Love lift us up where we belong. Let us be ready for this cosmic elevator on the solstice. It is coming, it is now, it is this weekend. We're going through that great portal, and very soon the light will be... There is nowhere to run for the darkness. For they go into the darkness, the light is there. They go into the light, well, they'll be welcome into the light, but there will be no place to run. And so just be posed, be calm, trust. You'll see that the divine plan wasn't failing anybody. Very soon, it's going to be very clear. But we're going to need to make those choices and decisions. It is confirmed by this card, the Two of Michael. Everything would be better if you would make a decision. Do not ask yourself too many questions. Find a compromise. So it's to find the just balance, to find the balance and make your decision. Do not think about it. Just act upon it, whatever feels right, and then you'll be able to harvest the rewards of that choice that you make. When sometimes it's like even getting out of our comfort zone for just a little while, just because we need to find that point of freedom. I thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.